it's asking a heap, but if you can pull your eyes open for a minute, yonder is something you don't see every day. A girl playing ball. With a monkey. And a bobcat watching. Sorry, old timer. I reckon what you was dreaming had it beat.
Skipper's getting good, ain't he, Paul?
Yes, for a fact, Ellie.
Can we try out for the Dodgers?
But I don't hardly think... Look out, here comes Jethro, going faster than a hungry dog at feeding time. What's your hurry, Jethro?
It's time for the weather on television.
Since when is Jethro so interested in the weather?
Since he's seen that pretty girl that talks about it.
The one that riles up Granny so?
Yes, sir. Granny says she's wrong half the time, half wrong the other half.
It's expected that this high-pressure system will hold back the mass of moist air moving in across the Pacific.
Hot diggity dog, ain't she pretty?
And now the weather forecast for Los Angeles and vicinity. Continue clear this afternoon and tonight, sunny and warmer tomorrow.
You're wrong again. It's gonna rain tonight, or my name ain't Daisy. Shh, don't you shush me. She's the one that's fibbing.
What's the trouble, Granny?
Oh, it's gonna rain tonight, and she keeps telling me that it's gonna be clear. She don't know what she's talking about.
Shh, I want to listen to my TV, sweetie.
By the way, there'll be a full moon tonight. Perfect for a weenie roast at the beach. See you there.
You sure will. Hey, Granny, we got any weenies?
And now, good night from your weather miss.
Weather miss is right. She ain't hit it right all week.
Well, she's just a young girl, Granny.
Well, then they shouldn't send a girl to do woman's work.
We got any weenies, Granny?
I keep telling her she's wrong, but she won't listen to me. Just keeps on blabbing.
We got any weenies, Granny?
I don't think they can hear you when you talk back to this TV contraption.
Well, then why do they keep asking me those questions? Like, are you tired and run down? Does too many suds clog your washing machine?
We got any weenies?
Yeah, them kind of questions.
Well, I don't know about that, but I bet you that weather girl will take it right kindly if you call up and straighten her out. Told her it was going to rain tonight. That is, if you're for positive sure.
You get her on the phone. I'll step outside and take a look at the signs once more.
Hey, Granny, we got any weenies?
Special operator.
Well, thank you. Any operator would have done, but since you come on special, I'll let you handle it. I'd like to talk to that girl on TV that says it ain't going to rain tonight. Granny thinks she's wrong.
I can give you weather information.
Oh, you too, huh? Well, all right. Whose side are you on, hers or Granny's?
Now, Ellie, watch close. Because one of these days, you'll be taking my place predicting the weather. Jethro, fetch me a ladybug.
Granny, how about them weenies?
You can't tell nothing from weenies. Fetch me a ladybug.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Now, we'll commence with this little bobcat. Have you noticed his fur standing up bushy?
Yes'm.
And have you noticed him licking agin the grain?
Yes'm, I have.
That's a sign. Bobcat's licking agin the grain. Come that night, it's likely to rain.
Did you hear that, Bobby? You're a weather sign.
So is your rooster Earl, Ellie. Looky yonder.
That a sign of rain, Granny?
Yes, sirree. Rooster crows before he goes to bed. He'll wake up with a soggy head.
Tell me some more rain signs.
Oh, there's dozens of them. Cats sneezing, dogs eating grass, sheep's turning their backs to the wind, wolves howling before sundown, ants banking up the dirt around their holes. See that tree over yonder?
Yes'm.
You notice how the leaves are turning up, showing the underside? That's a good sign.
Hey, Granny, I can't find no ladybug.
That's a good sign. Now see if you can fetch me a bullfrog.
Yes, ma'am.
Bullfrogs turn dark 10 or 12 hours before it rains. But here's a sign that separates the girls from the grannies. My weather beetle. Watch him when he gets a whiff of air.
Well, he turned over on his back and kicking up his leg.
That's a dead for sure, positive, certain sign it's gonna rain tonight. This little rascal never fails. Likes to get his stomach scratched.
Can I do it?
Easy, easy now, it tickles him.
Granny, appears like that pretty little girl on the TV don't do her own predicting.
She don't?
Oh, she gets her weather news from the government.
Whose government?
Ours, I reckon. Leastwise, I got the number where we can call the head weatherman.
Good. The sooner I set him straight, the better.
Excuse me, Mr. Addison. The latest teletype dispatches from all stations and photographs from weather satellite Tyros.
Weather ship confirms. Satellite photos check. Barometer rising. Weather balloon A-OK. Polar stations ditto. All meteorological observations verified. You have processed these data through the computer?
Yes, sir. Here's the electronic projection.
Ah, what a shame that this brilliant compilation of scientific knowledge and observation will be interpreted to the public in two simple words. Clear tonight. Maybe Washington. Chief Forecaster Addison here.
Out of there, this here is Jed Clampett. Are you the weatherman?
I am the supervisor of meteorological observation for this area.
Oh, well, I was wanting a weatherman.
You're speaking to him. I am Justin Addison.
Well, shucks, don't feel bad about that. I'm just a Clampett. Oh, well, here's Granny. She wants to straighten you out on the weather tonight.
I beg your pardon?
Well, you oughta. Telling everybody it ain't gonna be no rain tonight. It's gonna come down in buckets.
Madam, you have my assurance. There will be no precipitation tonight.
Maybe not, but there's gonna be a whole slew of rain.
Madam, you must realize that weather prediction has progressed far beyond the primitive superstitions in which you seem to place credence. It has become a geophysical science, the science of meteorology, with the world our test tube and the limitless reaches of the universe our laboratory.
Are you through flapping your trap? Because if you are, I got something to tell you.
And what might that be?
It's gonna rain tonight.
It is not going to rain tonight.
I say it is.
I say it isn't. And Tyros says it isn't.
Well, Cecil says it is.
Who the devil is Cecil?
My weather beetle. And he can out-predict your Tyros any day.
Well, madam, let me tell you about Tyros. As a taxpayer, you have a right to know. After all, you helped pay for him.
How much did it cost?
Tyros number 7 was activated at a cost of millions of dollars.
For a beetle that says it ain't gonna rain tonight? I want my money back.
You hadn't ought to yell at him. He's a government man.
Fine government man you are. Hey, I bet you can't even find me still.
It's a government man. Granny was just funning. She's, hello? Hello? I reckon you throwed the fat in the fire that time. He's liable to come over here and you'll have some explaining to do.
So will he. Like what happened to the first 6 beetles we helped pay for.
We helped pay for him?
Yes, sir. And I want to tell you something, Jed. I don't know how the government's doing with their other supplies, but they is paying an outrageous price for beetles.
Hey, oh, Miss Jane, Mr. Drysdale, sure am glad to see you. Looks like we's headed for trouble.
What's wrong?
Well, Granny's fighting mad. She wants to take on the whole United States government.
Well, that would be a one-sided fight.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad you come along. I hope you can stop it before the government gets too rostered around.
What precipitated the altercation?
Well,
What are they fighting about?
oh, well, they can't seem to agree about the weather.
Oh, is that all? Tell Granny to forget it.
Too late. They done crossed beetles.
Beetles?
Yeah, and Granny said something she hadn't ought to. If I could just talk to that government man, I think I could head him off, save us a heap of trouble.
Do you know his name?
Yes, ma'am, but he didn't seem none too proud of it for some reason. Head weatherman, too.
Addison.
Right. He's Justin Addison.
Yeah, that's the way he seemed to feel about it. Tell me, did his pa do something?
Oh, he did indeed. Addison Sr. was a pioneer meteorologist.
MIT man. PhD, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa.
Addison Jr. is good.
But he's not the man his father was.
True. He always lived in the old man's shadow.
Yeah, that's the way it happens sometimes.
Well, if you'd like to meet him, we'll drive you down to the office and I'll introduce you.
Yeah, I sure would appreciate that. Ellie Mae! Ellie, honey, you look after your granny. I'll be back directly.
Yes, sir, Pa.
Wouldn't want Granny and that weatherman to tie into each other.
Hello there, Granny.
We'll bring Mr. Clampett right back.
Where are they taking you, Jed?
Just for a little ride.
Well, if you're going to be out after dark, you better put up your roof. It's going to rain.
Oh, no, it isn't, Granny. We were listening to the weather forecast on the way over.
Continue clear this afternoon and tonight.
Drive on quick.
It's going to rain. My beagle says it's going to rain. Ellie Mae's bobcat says it's going to rain. Her rooster says it's going to rain. The ants say it's going to rain. The leaves on the trees. Even this monkey says it's going to rain.
Here they are, Mr. Addison.
Drysdale, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Addison.
Oh, excuse me, Chief. I'll just wait in the outer office.
Right. I'd like you to meet my very good friend, next-door neighbor, and largest depositor.
How to do there? I'm Jed Clampett.
Great pleasure to know you, sir. I'm Justin Addison.
Well, now, Mr. Addison, you got to forget about what your pa done. Make your own way in the world.
You knew my dad?
No, but Mr. Drysdale told me about him.
What you said, Mr. Clampett, is quite to the point. All my life, people have said, he's not the man his father was.
Well, now, you believe him, because he's right.
Mr. Clampett, I think you have something to discuss with Mr. Addison.
I do for a fact. It's about the way Granny's been acting.
Well, I'll leave you two alone.
Won't you sit down, Mr. Clampett?
Oh, thank you.
Did you say Granny?
Well, her real name is Daisy.
You mean Hurricane Daisy?
That's the one.
Yes, she is beginning to give us trouble. We've just started tracking her.
I was afraid of that. Couldn't you just forget about her? She ain't doing no harm.
Not now, perhaps, but if she ever moves north, there's no estimating the damage she might do.
I think I can promise you she ain't gonna move north.
Well, I wish the Government Weather Bureau could be as certain as you are. No, I'm afraid we cannot ignore a force as potentially dangerous as Hurricane Daisy.
What are you planning to do?
Well, we're going to try something new with Daisy. We're going to fly over her with high-altitude Air Force jets.
You mean an airplane?
Bombers, the biggest we've got. And we're going to drop silver iodide and dry ice right in her eye.
Government or no government, I reckon I can't let you do that.
Well, with all due respect, sir, I hardly see how you're going to stop us.
Well, maybe not, but I'm gonna do my best.
What are you, a hurricane lover? Please, believe me, Mr. Clampett. Daisy is a violent, destructive force. She's unpredictable. She's dangerous.
I grant you all that, Mr. Addison, but she's still my mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law?
The Clampett clan sticks together.
Mr. Drysdale! Help!
Well, here we are.
You know, Addison, I'm going to enjoy watching this movie about weather forecasting myself.
Yes, well, I hope it will convince Granny.
It was a positively inspired idea, Mr. Addison. One picture is worth 1,000 words.
Do you think this is the way Dad would have handled it?
You gotta stop worrying about what your pa done. Make it on your own. You're still a young feller. Of course, you ain't met Granny yet.
Put up the screen, Miss Addison.
My goodness. This is a magnificent home, Mr. Clampett.
Well, thank you, sir. Now, let me tell you something. My pa lived in a little bitty log cabin with a dirt floor, and I was never ashamed of him, and you hadn't ought to be ashamed of your pa.
Ashamed of him? Why, Dad was an MIT PhD.
You don't need to spell it out. I've heard ugly words before. Now, don't go to mean-mouthing him right off. He's trying to live down a bad family name as it is. He ain't such a bad fellow when you get to know him, for a government man.
Well, you better not mean-mouth me. Nor my beagle neither.
Mr. Addison, This here is Granny, the Daisy we had a little misunderstanding about.
How do you do? I'm Justin Addison.
Howdy.
See what I mean? Apologizes every time.
Howdy, everybody.
Ellie Mae, this here is Mr. Addison. Mr. Addison is my daughter, Ellie Mae.
How do you do?
Well, just fine, thank you.
Mr. Addison is going to show us a movie on weather predicting.
Well, fine, Paul. Granny said she done told me everything there was to know about it.
Everything.
Well, then just watch for the fun of it.
Take seats, everybody. We're about ready to start the picture.
By way of prefacing what you are about to see, may I say that from the dawn of his existence, man was in awe of the elements. But in time, man's awe of the elements gave way to investigation. And today, we no longer have to rely on such things as prognosticating beetles.
Don't you call my beetles whatever it is you just called them.
Addison, maybe you better get on with the movie.
I think you're right. Those birds be it. Today, weather reports from every part of the world can be obtained almost instantly, and they are the basis of modern weather forecasting. Because weather on Earth is affected by conditions above Earth, ray-sun balloons are launched into the atmosphere at stations throughout the world.
Instead of looking for weather signs, they's playing with balloons.
Pressure, temperature, and winds are plotted on map segments, which are joined together to form a large map of simultaneous observations. But a revolution is taking place in forecasting techniques. Electronic computers can analyze data and predict tomorrow's weather map. The frontiers of meteorology have been greatly expanded by the use of TIROS.
That's a big one.
Here you see TIROS 2, 19 inches high, 42 inches in diameter, and weighing approximately 280 pounds.
That Tyros may be big, but he ain't half the beetle Cecil is.
And here is TIROS atop its launch vehicle, about to be rocketed into space.
I ain't seen nothing like that since the time your steel blew up.
Yes, the modern science of meteorology has removed weather forecasting from the realm of superstition and coincidence, enabling me to say with complete confidence, it will not rain tonight.
Well, Granny, what do you think?
I think she better get her car under cover. It's gonna rain in 1 minute.
Granny, has all this been for naught? Hasn't this mass of scientific evidence convinced you that my prediction is the correct one?
Better get a move on.
Can't happen. It just can't.
Well, do you still think your Tyros is better than my Cecil?
I don't know what to think.
Come and sit down, and I'll give you a lesson in how to predict the weather.
Jethro! Jethro! Granny wants you to come down to breakfast. I'm coming, Uncle Jed. You got caught in the rain last night.
I sure did. I wait down the beach pretty near all night in the pouring rain for that pretty little weather girl. And she never did show up.
I can't see as a blame her.
But she hadn't ought to said it was going to be clear last night.
It wasn't her fault. You got any complaining to do, you call Mr. Addison.
Yes? Well, madam, we were just as surprised as you were. Yes? So sue us. Will you get off my back? Oh, I'm sorry, Chief. Yes, we did come a cropper last night, but you can depend on our predictions from now on. I guarantee it. Today? Well, just a moment. Hello, Chief. All clear today. You can depend on it. How do I know? My beetle isn't kicking. Goodbye. Cecil, you little genius. You're going to make me a better forecaster than Dad ever was. Why, Dad, you should have told me you were a beetle man.
Fixing to tonic the whole town of Beverly Hills?
That's just a starter. Then I'm going to commence on the rest of the country.
Everybody?
No, just the Democrats and the Republicans.
They need tonicking, do they?
Why, Jed, they is in such bad shape. One party can't walk and the other one can't even stand up.
Who told you that?
They did. I've been watching the TV. The Republicans claim that the Democrats is dragging their feet. And the Democrats come back and say that the Republicans ain't got a leg to stand on.
You got to remember, Granny, come election time, them two parties says a lot of things about each other.
That's why I ain't taking no chances. I'm tonicking both sides.
I'm glad to see you ain't partial. I'll say this. You get enough of your tonic into them two parties, this country's gonna have one rip-snorting election.
That's why I made it extra strong this year. I figured a little will have to go a long way. Now go ahead, help yourself.
Well, I'll tell you, Granny, you ought to go first. It's your tonic.
Yeah. I have been feeling a little stove up lately. Little achy in the joints and not too spry.
Well, probably city living.
Probably. Well, here's looking at you, Jed.
Granny, you ain't looking at me.
Water. I gotta have water.
Tells me folks are gonna talk about this election for years to come.
Now, what brings my lovely wife here to brighten up my dreary day?
Milburn, those dreadful hillbillies
Hillbillies are at it again. Well, what is it this time, dear?
They're going to ruin the social event of the year.
Which is?
The Countess Maria von Holstein is returning to Beverly Hills.
No.
Yes.
Well, who's she?
Oh, Milburn, really. The Countess Maria is the absolute unchallenged leader of the continental jet set.
No.
Yes.
Well, who are they?
They're the avant-garde of international society. They jet to the Riviera for the sun, to Innsbruck for the skiing, to Paris for clothes, to Las Vegas for divorces. They practically live on jet planes.
Margaret, I can't think of two groups of people more dissimilar than the Clampetts and this jerk set.
Jet set.
Same difference, they'll never meet. Now, we're very busy, dear.
But they will meet. The Countess has leased the mansion on the other side of the Clampetts.
Margaret, in cities like Beverly Hills, people can live out their whole lives without ever meeting their next-door neighbor. Now, run along, dear. I am very busy.
Milburn, will you let me finish?
Let you. I'll pay a cash bonus.
Granny is going about the neighborhood distributing a vile concoction she calls tonic. She left this at our house. If that little hillbilly witch doctor calls on the Countess, her ladyship may jet back to the continent.
If she drinks this, she may jet back without a plane.
Begging your ladyship's pardon, but are you quite certain you will be able to walk?
Oh, my dear Humphrey, I can fly. Thanks to this magic elixir. This is amazing. I've traveled the world searching for the secret of youth and vitality, only to find it here in this quaint, sleepy little village of Beverly Hills. Are you sure the little gypsy woman who makes this tonic lives here, in this mansion?
Yes, madam. Her exact words were, Howdy, neighbor. Williams lives yonder. And pointed to this house.
Oh, well, as one of my husbands used to say, it takes many hounds to make the pack.
That was your fifth husband, madam. The Earl.
Oh, yes. Charming man. You know, Humphrey, I may marry again, possibly an American this time.
Begging your pardon, madam, I don't believe there are any titled Americans.
Oh, well, who cares? I've married a count, a duke, a baron, a marquis, and an earl. This time I want a man with red blood in his veins.
Oh, howdy, ma'am. See you come for a refill. Step right in. Granny, lady here needs some more tonic.
You know, I think I'm in love with you.
Never mind, Granny. She's had enough. To the best of my recollections, we ain't even met before. I reckon you got me confused with somebody else.
Who's she, Jed? Somebody wanting tonic?
Yes. Yes, and make it a double this time.
Now, hold on, Granny.
Don't worry, Jed. I know that look. She'd been over-tonicked. Jed, leave the room.
Oh, shucks, Granny.
Boy, do what your granny said.
Always getting thrown out. I'm gonna get married and have my own house and throw other folks out.
Get her setting down, Jed. I'll fetch some catnip tea. That'll work again the tonic.
Won't you set a spell, ma'am?
Yes.
Getting a hold of herself, Jed?
No, Granny. So far, it's mostly me.
Here. Swallow that.
Granny, I reckon you better commence cutting your tonic for city folks. Appears to be a mite too powerful for 'em.
I reckon a bet.
How you feel now, ma'am?
Fine, thank you. Are you the little lady who makes this tonic?
I am.
Oh, this here's Granny. I'm Jed Clampett, and the young'uns, Ellie B and Jethro, is outdoors.
And Mrs. Clampetts?
Well, I'm a widower, ma'am.
Well, we really must get better acquainted. I happen to be unattached.
You need hooking up, I'll do it.
Granny, I reckon that was just a tonic of talk.
I mean, I have no husband at the moment. I'm the Countess Maria.
Countess?
Yes. My last husband was an earl.
Oh, well, I got a cousin that pretty near married to Earl.
Really?
Yeah, Earl Scruggs, you know him?
No, I don't believe so.
Maybe you know his partner, Lester Flatt.
No.
Well, he's on the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, opera stars.
Yeah, down there with Minnie Pearl. Do you know her?
I'm afraid not.
How about the Duke of Paducah?
No, I don't. I know several dukes, but not that one. I've just had a perfectly marvelous idea. I'll give a huge party so that your friends and my friends can get acquainted. And so can we.
Well, that's mighty neighborly of you, Miss Countess. Or is it Ms.?
Just call me Maria. Granny, instead of champagne, may I serve your tonic?
Well, I don't know, Marie.
Oh, please, it'll simply make the party.
What do you think, Jed?
Well, Granny, why not? You was figuring on tonic in the whole town anyway. Save you a heap of walking pushing that wheelbarrow.
Serve it blowing from a fountain into a huge punch bowl. We'll call it the Fountain of Youth.
Granny! Granny, Mrs. Drysdale dumped your whole kettle of tonic into the cement pond.
What?
All of it? Yeah, must have been 15, 20 gallons.
Who is this Mrs. Drysdale?
Why, she's the meanest, orneriest, no good, low down.
Now, Granny, you see, ma'am, Miss Drysdale is high society. Her husband is president of the Commerce Bank, and she never has cotton to us living next door.
I'll fix her.
Please, Granny, let me have that pleasure.
I know just how to deal with these so-called high society women.
You won't hurt her, will you, ma'am?
I promise you I won't lay a hand on her.
You did what?
I dumped the entire mess into their swimming pool.
Margaret.
Sit down and listen to me. It was you who moved those loutish hillbillies into our lovely neighborhood. Now then, it is I who shall move them out.
Now, dear, let's talk this over.
Sit down. The time for talk is past. It's time for action. And if you're too weak to take it, I am not. Somebody has to make Beverly Hills safe for people of breeding.
Excuse me.
I told you no interruptions.
I told you no interruptions.
Oh, sit down, Milburn.
I wouldn't interrupt, but the Countess is here.
The Countess?
She wants to see you.
Oh, Milburn, did you hear that? Stand up.
Mrs. Drysdale, I presume.
Oh, yes, your ladyship.
I am giving a party, and I wanted you to be the first to know about it.
What an honor.
Not only am I inviting the cream of Beverly Hills society, but Newport, Santa Barbara, Pasadena will be represented.
I have many friends there.
And, of course, members of the nobility will be jetting in from all over the continent.
Oh.
Lords and ladies, dukes and duchesses, perhaps a few princes, and a king and queen or two.
Oh.
And now, Mrs. Drysdale, we come to my guests of honor. Those people whom I consider to be the first family of Beverly Hills.
Oh, your ladyship, surely you don't mean the Drysdales?
I surely don't. I mean the Clampetts.
The Clampetts?
Your next-door neighbors.
Oh, those Clampetts. Oh, wonderful. They're my dearest friends.
Really? What a shame you're not invited to the party. Good day.
Oh, but, Countess, your ladyship, surely that's not your last word?
No, my last word is this. If you ever tamper with another drop of Granny's tonic, I shall buy Beverly Hills and exile the both of you.
Oh, but, your countessship.
So that's what did it. She likes Granny's tonic.
Countess called me a fat frump. It's Milburn's fault. If he'd taken action when I told him to, this tragedy could have been averted. Milburn, you spineless jellyfish. Don't just sit there. Do something.
Yes, Margaret, I think I will. Something I should have done a long time ago.
Milburn, that look. I don't like it.
Milburn! What's happening?
He's paddling her.
Oh, there you are, Uncle Jed. Hey, listen, can I... Hot diggity dirt. How come you're so all duded up?
Because I'm going for a ride.
All right, I'll get the truck.
No, never mind. Going with a neighbor in their car.
You all dressed up like that for Mr. Drysdale?
It ain't Mrs. Drysdale I'm going with.
Mrs. Drysdale?
Jethro, why don't you set up your granny's kettle so she can make another batch of tonic?
Well, Granny can't make no more tonic. She's done run out of yarbs and roots and berries and things.
Well, then you go get her some more.
Only place I can get more is back home. That'd take a week.
I'll say howdy for me while you're back there.
Uncle Jed, I'm commencing to figure something out. You don't want me around when that somebody comes to go riding with you. Oh, she is a woman. That's how come you're wearing your courting clothes and shaved your face and put that smelly slickum on your hair.
Jethro, I gotta admire your brain.
I thank you.
Now that I've admired it, get it out of here.
Jed's got a sweetheart. Uncle Jed's got a sweetheart. He's got a sweetheart. Hey, if you marry up with the Countess, you gonna live in one of them castles, wear one of them tin suits, Fight dragons with a sword? Rescue them damsels in distress?
Every day and twice on Sundays. What in tarnation is that?
I don't know, but it's getting closer.
Jethro, come here.
Yeah, boy, Miss Jean called you.
I know, but she's got a kind of funny look in her eye.
Yeah, I've seen that look before.
Jethro, I said come here.
Jethro, you going or ain't you?
Unless you come with me.
I got my own problem. You find Granny and ask for some catnip tea.
I don't like catnip tea.
Not for you, for her. Quick about it. Here she comes. Oh, howdy there, soldier. I thought you was the countess.
Her ladyship is waiting.
Well, reckon his manship is ready. You guard the countess, do you?
No, sir. I drive her.
Driver?
Yes, sir. I have driven the countess since childhood. 35 years.
Well, you better let up. It ain't hurt her none, but it sure got you looking old for 35.
Mr. Clampett, how handsome you look.
Excuse me, ma'am, but you ain't been on a tonic again, have you?
Oh, no, I've sworn off till the party. Now, where would you like to go?
Oh, I ain't choicey. It's all the same to you, ma'am. Could we take out after him and bring him back?
Why, of course. Humphrey, catch those two immediately.
I'll do my best, your ladyship.
No, not on foot. We'll go in the car.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful man, terribly devoted. You wouldn't believe how old he is.
I do find it hard, ma'am.
Now, don't cry, Tommy. I know you're hot in your woolly coat. Here's some nice cool water for you.
Ellie Mae, did you set up my kettle again?
Well, yes, Granny. You fixing to make up some more tonic for the Countess's party?
I'm afraid I can't, child. Ain't got no more yarbs. But as long as my kettle is set up and the firewood is ready, I'm gonna cook up a great big batch of chitlins for the winding. I reckon you best move there, little fella. The smoke from that fire is gonna blow right over here. And a little baby like you... Ellie Mae, what's this kitten been drinking?
Well, just a little water out of the cement pond, Granny.
Well, I'll be doggone.
What is it, Granny?
Dumping them 20 gallons of extra strong tonic in the pond has watered it down and made it just right for little critters and city folks.
Melvin, must I go up there and humble myself to Granny?
No, you can have another paddling instead.
I'm going up.
So you brung help with you, huh? Well, come on. I'll take you both over.
No, Granny, we're not here to fight. Tell her, Margaret.
I'm here to eat crow.
Well, you're out of luck, sister. I'm cooking chitlins.
Come on, Jethro.
Safe to get out?
Of course it is. We left Miss Jane 3 miles up the road.
Hope she don't get hold of no more tonic. I've never seen anything run as fast as that woman.
What can't you?
Shall we pursue them, sir?
No, running at 6 miles top speed probably took the edge off her.
Do you mind having the party here instead of your house?
Granny, I've almost given up the notion of having a party at all. Mr. Clampett tells me that you have no more tonic.
Got a whole pond full of it. And it's been watered down and run through the filter so it's just right for city folks. Come on in, I'll show you.
Oh, what a magnificent spot for a party. We can have hundreds of guests.
And you've got the fountain of youth, too, just like you wanted. Folks can just pass by and fill their glasses. Looky here. Ain't that pretty? Here, Countess, try one. You too, old soldier.
May I, your ladyship?
Oh, I think it will do you a world of good, Humphrey.
Thank you, your ladyship. You're most kind.
Don't call him an old soldier, Granny. He's just a little past 35.
To your husband, madam.
Which one?
The next one.
Oh, thank you, my dear Humphrey.
Oh, your ladyship.
I'm coming. This party life is too much for me up half the night.
Good morning, Granny. Good morning.
Granny, how can I ever thank you for last night?
It was a dandy wedding.
The tonic flowed like water.
And to think that I was there in person when the Countess married her 6th husband.
Oh, by the way, the bride and groom up yet?
Ain't heard a peep out of them. Well, come on out to the kitchen and have some coffee.
Oh.
Good, thank you.
Good morning, dear friends.
Fabulous wedding party.
Well, good morning, Countess. How's the groom this morning?
Wonderful. Simply wonderful.
The kitchen is this way, Countess. Where you going?
To the fountain of youth.
Yonder comes the groom, and your tonic has sure done wonders for him.
He's commencing to look 35.